Okay, well, maybe we'll have some stragglers trickle in here. That would be great. But we just want to thank you guys today for joining us for this presentation on City Council goal setting and governance for the City of Maquoketa. I'm Lily Sronkowski, and I'm here with my teammate Caleb Smith, and our third team member, Cami Rasmussen, couldn't be here today with us.
Just want to make sure these are recording. Give us
Technical difficulties.
Recording in progress.
All right, so this project would not be possible, of course, without the partnership between the University of Iowa and the School of Planning and Public Affairs and the Iowa Initiative for Sustainable Communities. And then we also want to specifically thank the City of Maquoketa for their commitment and participation, including Mayor Tom Messerly, City Manager Josh Bolt, City Councilman Mark Lyon, and the entire Maquoketa City Council members and city staff. And then we'd also like to bring attention to those who brought us here today, including Dave Heyer and Kelly Brown with the Jackson County Economic Alliance, and the University of Iowa professors Fong Wen and Travis Krause. And then finally, we want to thank municipal consultants Pat Callahan and Mark Jackson, and then our alumni advisor Ben Champ for their expertise and guidance in this project. So in December of 2019, the Maquoketa City Council passed your 2040 Comprehensive Plan. This plan established a community vision, aiding and guiding in decision-making over the next 20 years. This is an all-inclusive plan that focuses on issues relevant to the development of your community. The plan states, in order to achieve its vision, the recommendations made must be incorporated into the city's budgets, policies, and ordinances, thus setting a foundation for the city to be prosperous in its future. Since the comprehensive plan's inception, your city has a new mayor, a new city manager, and 2 new city council members. It's important to note that locally elected officials in small communities like Maquoketa come from a wide variety of backgrounds, careers, and levels of municipal experience. As a result, members can face a steep learning curve when assimilating to their new roles on municipal councils. So while some training, of course, is available through organizations like the National League of Cities and state municipal associations, typically the newly elected official only receives a brief orientation before they must vote on council business. So throughout the rest of today's presentation, you'll learn more about our primary focus for this project, which of course is to assist in providing a clearer path during these transitional periods, strategies for utilizing the city's detailed comprehensive plan for the next 20 years, and to provide additional goal-setting strategies and improved upon onboarding practices. Our process involved 4 components to better understand your current council planning and structure and needs. First, a survey helped us learn about your current goal-setting process and onboarding practices. Interviews, one-on-one interviews with the mayor, city council members, city staff, and department heads allowed our team to build rapport in Maquoketa and learn the comprehensive plan's current role in decision-making. Pre-workshop questionnaire focused on one section of the comprehensive plan, community character, and the related subcategories, including population, arts and entertainment, community history, and community safety. The survey, interviews, and pre-workshop questionnaire were all done in preparation for a strategic planning and goal-setting workshop. A Qualtrics survey format was used for the first step in our fact-finding mission and was sent to 19 city staff members and elected officials with 15 total responses received. The survey showed that a more formal orientation and onboarding process was desired and that the majority of the city council were not familiar with the 2040 comprehensive plan in its entirety. The survey also identified community character as the top choice for a strategic planning and goal-setting workshop, which was, of course, selected from categories within the 2040 comprehensive plan. Some of the other categories that the plan included were economic development, outdoor recreation, environment, housing, public infrastructure and facilities, transportation, and land use. And these were all given as options to focus on for that workshop. In March, our team made our initial visit to Maquoketa, where we spent the day conducting one-on-one interviews with the city council members and city staff. We heard a lot of common themes during that day. Maquoketa is a small town, quiet, clean, and safe. You're a farming community. There is a big focus on housing and jobs, check back to the last presentation that we just had. But you also have a strong volunteer support and a commitment to keep improving. And that every single person interviewed said the city manager is a great fit and does an outstanding job of communicating. Our interview takeaways, so these shared words, traits, and characteristics reflect a local government that cares deeply about their community and also shows that you already share many of the important values that make up a good team. Our interview takeaways were that council members desired a packet or cheat sheet for new and incoming city council members, that you view the comprehensive plan as a guiding tool rather than a strictly followed policy, and that council team building is definitely desired for a more cohesive council. So for our pre-workshop questionnaire, it helped us learn more about Maquoketa prior to coming and holding the actual strategic planning and goal setting workshop. So you shared with us your successes and accomplishment in community character, including the Platt Street rebuild, a second-story downtown apartment developments, your new hospital, urban chickens, organized trash pickup, water treatment facility and update and upgrade, and cleanup days, and lawn of the month. Opportunities were focused on downtown development, business attraction, and community spaces that celebrate diversity. And your concerns were for rising costs of goods and services and affordable daycare and housing. On April 11th, 2022, together, we spent the evening holding a strategic planning and goal setting workshop. This was on that day, pictured here with all members of the city council and city manager Josh Bolt. So the purpose of the workshop was to guide you through a strategic planning workshop designed to help take ideas to action steps, and then of course with the focus on community development identified in that survey, or community character. So this process first included brainstorming ideas that impact community character and then its subcategories as well. Our team had large Post-it sheets on the wall, as many of you remember, and we added your ideas under various categories, and then you voted with stickers on your top 3 priorities on each sheet. Our team then listed the top 2 votes from each sheet, and we took those through 4 guiding questions that we hoped would help take the idea to action, implementation, and finally completion. So these steps, as you can see based on this graphic here, are meant to be cyclical, which focus on constant goal evaluation. One of the top priorities that we identified through this workshop, as an example here, was code enforcement for rental properties. So taking you through each kind of one of these goals here. So first, for leadership, who would lead the project? This one was decided that it would be City Manager Josh Bolt. So how would the project be funded? The city budget was identified. How long could a project like this take for completion? 6 months was what was thought of here. And then how much time would pass before you had a check-in or a progress? And that was said to be about halfway through that completion timeline at 3 months to follow up with an update from the building inspector, Brad Caranda. Additional goals that were identified through the workshop were nuisance abatement code review and enforcement, to revisit the land use map, expand the city limits possibly, a community pool, relocation of the Gables wood structure, school crosswalk designations, and controlled traffic stops. Now Caleb is going to take us through our policy recommendations. Thank you.
How's everyone doing today? Good. All right, so thank you, Lily. So our team has created policy recommendations based on an analysis of trends, collected data, research, and observations. These proposals will act as an aid to enhance the productivity, operations, decision-making, and promote the vision for your council. Our recommendations are centered around 3 main categories, which are goal setting, onboarding, and general recommendations. First, we propose, of the goal setting recommendations, we propose a strategic planning process. We suggest that the council retain a goal setting strategy. It is important that when decisions are made or goals are set, that there's a process to move forward and tangible steps to achieve the goal. Our team suggests that Lily previously mentioned 4 guiding questions to consider when creating goals. The first question is who will lead the charge, or who all needs to be involved for that goal to be successful. The second question, where is the funding coming from, or how will it be funded? The third question, what is a realistic time frame for completion? This means thinking about how long a certain goal will take and when you foresee it being finalized or completed, and making note of those things. And the fourth question, how and when will the progress be tracked, checked, and evaluated? This could entail developing a tracking method, addressing what has been done, and thinking about evaluation in terms of how the goal was implemented successfully or not. These guiding questions will provide a necessary outline that increase the possibility of accomplishing the goal that has been set forth. By answering each of those questions, the council will create a strategic foundation that's rooted in efficiency and effectiveness that better will help support the community of Maquoketa. Going on to our next recommendation for goal setting is the expert facilitation of a goal setting workshop. So during our workshop, it provided an opportunity for the council to foster some better relationships and aid in the strategic planning for Maquoketa's future. We recommend that the council hire outside experts to facilitate future workshops. These workshops could be held at a frequency that's determined by the council and city manager. For example, that could be annually or biannually. Excuse me. By obtaining outside facilitation, the council is afforded the opportunity to create an atmosphere that is neutral and unbiased. The council can garner renewed perspectives and the opportunity for new and difficult conversations to be discussed, and for assumptions to be confronted by a third-party group that's not a part of the organization. In our final report that you will get here just in about a week or so, we do provide 2 consulting firms that have long done this work in Iowa's communities for you all to look into. Our last recommendation for goal setting is to move forward on the workshop plans. So during our workshop, we identified several key goals or priorities that Lily mentioned previously, and we just recommend that since we spent so much time looking into that and identifying those specific aspects of each goal, that you move forward on those things. Moving on to onboarding. One more click, and then one more click. Perfect. Moving on to onboarding. Our first onboarding recommendation is to formalize an onboarding process. So through our survey evaluation that the council and staff was so kind to do in the beginning of our project, we identified the need for the Maquoketa City Council to adopt a more formalized onboarding process. Onboarding promotes increased engagement and productivity among City Council, and it will help build a stronger culture within the City of Maquoketa and this Maquoketa City government. We propose a formalized onboarding process to be established and include a combination of introductory documents and a plan for sharing important city information, such as current projects or proposed city ordinances. This should be an ongoing process that should have check-ins and follow-ups every 30, 60, and 90 days, up until the newly elected member of council feels acclimated to the council. It is important for new council members to be equipped with the basic knowledge of city operations to begin their council term with a sense of confidence while building their knowledge over time. The next recommendation we have is to participate in external city council training opportunities. There are opportunities for both current and newly elected council members to participate in and receive additional training and onboarding from external sources, such as the Iowa League of Cities. Our team recommends that your council continue to reinforce the participation in external opportunities that help acclimate the council to their new roles. The Iowa League of Cities provides a municipal leadership academy for newly elected council members. In addition, the league offers both in-person and webinar training opportunities in September of each calendar year. The league has the city's annual conference that is held in rotating cities around the state and provides seminars on a vast array of city-related matters that impact Iowa cities, such as Maquoketa. City staff should potentially attend and share any information they receive with the city manager and council. And we recommend that the cost of attending the training be included in the council's budget. Our next recommendation for onboarding is to establish and implement a council code of ethics. Council members were asked to rank traits that you felt that promote local government at its best. The highest ranking traits included communication, collaboration, and transparency and shared values. You all were also asked to share which traits you felt were to portray city council in the most effective and efficient light. The character traits that were among the highest were honesty, respectfulness, trustworthiness, and dependability. Many cities adopt code of ethics in different ways, and they typically reflect the values, the behavior, and the expectations of those serving on the council. Our team recommends that your council adopt a code of ethics that reflects not only the character traits that were identified in our surveys, but also the ones that are exhibited on your council culture. We include some examples in our report as well of different types of code of ethics for you guys to look into. Our next recommendation for onboarding is to conduct an overview of city policies. Different order. Is to conduct an overview of city policies. City government is a complex organization with a set of systems, practices, laws, and ordinances that are unique to each community. Our team recommends conducting an overview of city policies with city council members as part of the overall onboarding process that should occur at various intervals during the first year of service. Some of those policies that should be reviewed are city calendar, maybe the city capital improvement plan, going over comprehensive plans, city budgets, maybe touching on things like tax increment financing, and then audit or financial reports. All of that is to help the council get a better understanding of some of the things that they will be having to vote on in just a short few weeks. And then the next recommendation I'll talk about is the very one in the bottom left corner, which will be the last for onboarding, is to create an onboarding packet. An introductory onboarding packet provides the newly elected council members with important brief information that will help prepare them for their new roles as a civic leader and a voting member of the council. Our team recommends that the mayor and city manager further institute an onboarding packet. We have included a model packet in our report that you'll get in just a short few weeks. The proposal was designed to inform new council members of procedural practices related to meetings, as well as provide project updates and general new hire information that is kind of on a need-to-know basis. It will aid the new council members in decision-making, as well as as they move forward in their new roles. And then we'll move on to our last set of recommendations, which are a bit more general. So our first recommendation is the division of labor. While identifying priorities at our workshop, the council members originally pinpointed City Manager Josh Bolt as the lead for most projects. While the city manager is likely to be involved and supportive of all projects, it isn't always tangible for the city manager to lead each project. So our team recommends that there is a division of labor that will help better promote efficiency and effectiveness, while also allowing all members to be informed of their sector of work. The next recommendation is team building. Our team identified the need for increased team building opportunities. Team building occurs when individuals can get to know each other and connect around a shared mission or goal. Team building encourages conversations, idea sharing, and helps promote council dynamics in a new way. We recommend that the council, and potentially staff as well, participate in different team building exercises, activities, programs, retreats, or workshops. While conducting interviews with council staff, it was mentioned that the council doesn't always see themselves as a cohesive team. But during our workshop, our team was able to easily see that the council is much more cohesive than they believe, and these workshops may help better identify that within their group. These opportunities will serve your community and improve the time spent on the council. Our last recommendation for you all is in regard to diversity, equity, inclusion, and justice. A reoccurring comment that was expressed to our team was the high level of community engagement and active devotion to volunteer service, further informing us that the spirit of involvement is thriving in Maquoketa and that your residents are very engaged. Engaging community members to participate in local government roles can lead to a more diverse council, which brings new ideas, energy, and perspectives. To identify goals of priority among residents, especially connecting with and embracing marginalized or underserved populations, which can include different races, genders, or ages, to name a few, our team recommends encouraging civic engagement participation among your residents. This could look like seeking out feedback and providing space for underserved or minority populations to express their concerns. It could be encouraging diverse groups and individuals to attend council meetings or election informational sessions. It could be creating a process and outlets for residents to provide feedback, advice, or concerns. Also conducting workshops held in each ward that rotates. That way people are in spaces where they feel most comfortable. And lastly, it could be something as simple as coffee and conversations with your elected officials, all to provide space for each of your residents that choose to attend to get more civically engaged and make sure that we are connecting with populations that may not always be heard. And that wraps it up. Each of our recommendations in Maquoketa are all there to aid you all in your present commitment to build a stronger, more thriving community. So that was our goal here today, was to provide you all with recommendations that further your goal of improving the community in which you live and serve. So we thank you for your time, and we look forward to any questions you may have.